What's up, everyone? Shaq here for EDM.com, and you know who this is, coming off phase one of her nationwide tour ahead of the release of her EP, Feel It. Making waves to the electronic music industry. ALLEYCVT, how's it going?
Thank you so much. That was a great intro. It's going good. This is like my first day back home with my family. I got home from Denver late last night. So I woke up, I stretched, I ate some breakfast. I'm good.
Dude, I mean, what a great one-two punch. You're back home with the family, and you're coming off of, what is it, 2 nights selling out the Ogden Theater in Denver, your biggest headlining show yet. What are the feelings like
Yeah,
coming off of that?
so grateful, man. Like, honestly, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that show. And I know everybody who worked on that show, like Rubik's and all the media and Laser Monkey, like it's just everyone who was involved in the stage design, they all put their blood, sweat, and tears into it too. So I'm very grateful. I'm very happy with the way it went. I drove myself to the brink of insanity trying to make sure that these shows were the best they could be. But I think it was completely worth it in the long run. And I'm just very, yeah, I'm very happy with it, how it went.
You know, any kind of individual pursuit, I feel like, comes with the emotional highs and lows. How validating is an experience like that to put all that time in and to see the fruits of your labor, both in the turnout and both in your, execution of it?
It's very validating. It's almost surreal because it's like you're like, how did I get here? You get so caught up in the heat of the moment and you're always working and working and building towards something else that you kind of forget
Mm.
to just slow down and take it all in. So once it's really over and you're looking back at it, it's so rewarding and it's worth every single ounce of hard work.
Well, and the hard work isn't stopping. We have the debut of Feel It impending. It's on the way. Um, Tell me a little bit about what it's like to sort of start putting the final touches and start preparing for the rollout of that.
Stressful, I would say, just because it's my first body of work and I've never really made a body of work like that before. So there's a lot of things that go into it that you don't really necessarily think about until you're actually doing it. Um, kind of just making sure that everything's cohesive and then like the super nerdy shit, which is like, the mix downs and the mastering and making sure everything sounds level and stuff like that. And if I'm being completely honest, I wish I put this out. Um, like months ago, but I'm really taking my time with it. And I think my first body of work I want to put out, I just want to be really proud of it and not do what I usually do and release something and be like, oh, I wish I fixed that, that, and that, and that. So I'm taking my time with it.
Would you describe yourself as a bit of a perfectionist in that sense?
Yeah, my dad is too, so I get it from him. And then I have my mom's impatience, so that mixed together is really crazy. But yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I started picking up on where some of my quirks as a human being originally came from. So I'm glad you're having some of the same realizations. So that it's so funny you brought that up. I was gonna save it for a bit later, but I had read as I was sort of preparing for this that at one point you were planning to drop this in October. So what were some of the things that led to the delay of this project?
Honestly, a lot of these songs, it's I feel like I've progressed so much more
Mm.
as a producer as time has gone on. And a lot of these songs, I know are good because I've been holding on to them for a minute. Like these aren't songs that I just made. These are songs that I've meticulously picked and, taken out of the library and been like, okay, I feel like this represents the EP. But then as time goes on, I'm like, oh, well, I've gotten better at this. Like this isn't, how I would sound design this certain bass now. And so I'm always going back and changing it. Like it's kind of the same thing with like the actual single, Feel It. I just reworked that song like over 20 times.
Oh, last time you
It's
talked about it, you said eight, so I'm glad we're up to 20 now.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that song specifically, now that it's out, it's in the world and it's good, but I did rework it a lot. So that's kind of what the EP is going through right now. I'm
So,
just trying to make it the best it can be. So,
well, and I mean, clearly, if you look at the enthusiasm and sort of the growing fan base around you, it's working. But I am curious, how do you sort of reel yourself in to make sure that you're not driving yourself too crazy and that you're finding sort of the confidence that clearly, people love the work?
um, how do I do that? Um, I don't even think I do it. I think the people around me that
Mm.
I trust help me do that and kind of talk me down. Because I care, the only reason why I drive myself crazy a little bit is because I care so much about it. I care so much about the people who listen to my music and like just trying to get better as an artist in general. So I care a lot, but it's always the people that are like, yo, chill, like you're fine. You're not gonna like, nothing's bad's gonna happen. Like it'll be fine. Like stop overthinking it. It's easier said than done. But yeah, it's the people I keep around me, I feel like help me with that the most rather than myself.
Eh, Hey, I mean, I love when these talks get like introspective because I'd argue if you're surrounding yourself with good people, you are doing something about it. But that's just one random guy's take on the matter.
You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
appreciate
You're not wrong.
appreciate
You're
it.
not wrong. It's also it's just I feel like it's a skill in itself to surround yourself with certain people that help, elevate your life and like just surround yourself with people you want to be like, I feel like I do that pretty well
You know,
for the most part.
I agree. I think that's a great way to sort of live life. I was going back to the discography, and it's like it's so crazy to see how quickly your career is sort of taking off. I mean, the earliest release on the Spotify profile is 2021. Walk me through the feelings when you drop back to you and you see that first project start to pick up steam because it doesn't happen for most artists.
Yeah, I see a girl that has been through a lot of musical lives, like a lot
Mm.
of eras, as I would say, I guess. And that was kind of when I was first dipping my toes into the electronic music space as a producer in the electronic music world. And I was just kind of trying to figure it out. Like when I look back at those songs, I'm like, oh my God, like I had no idea what I was doing. Like, but the feeling was there and the emotion was there and the drive was there and the passion was there. So I look back at it really fondly. But yeah, I think that's another reason, like that's another thing that contributes to um my overthinking and stuff because it did kind of like happen fairly
Mhm.
fast when you look back at the discography.
If we
Yeah.
had a like Spider-Man multiverse crossover of all of Alley Cat's musical identities, can I just get like a quick starting lineup? Like, who are the Alley Cats before emotional,
Okay, so the
bassy
first
Alley Cat?
there was the first Alley Cat, which was like guitar Alley Cat. Thought she was Avril Lavigne Alley Cat, like, and then I kind
Shouts
of
to my
went through like a
Canadians.
punk
Hmm.
phase. And then I had a pop phase, and then yeah, within that pop phase, I was also doing like R&B and like really experimental pop, and I was just really trying to find my sound for such a long time, and then I realized that it was literally right in front of my face because I was going to festivals all the time.
Hey,
I love that type of music, but yeah.
I love that. I've had a similar conversation with Zingara, and I really appreciate that whenever the topic of like female DJs come up, you've both sort of said the same thing in the past, which is like, we don't talk about female lawyers or female doctors. Why can't we just be DJs? That being
Mhm.
said, what is it like to see, to have, sort of have this, I guess, it feels like you, Zingara, Level Up are all kind of coming up at the same time. How does it feel to see your parallels, your peers in the industry, maybe helping sort of redefine what it means to be a DJ in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think the best part about having these people around me is that they do understand. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, being a woman in this industry is the same as being a man. Like, it's not. There are definitely, like, nuances and certain things that you realize when you're a girl, that are different. And to be able to have other women that are also very talented come kind of be on the same in the same community and kind of know what's going on and they're always really good shoulders to lean on. I feel like especially Zingara, like she's a homie. I love Level Up as well, but yeah, it's me and Gabrielle are super close.
Hey, have you fixed your computer yet?
I have fixed my computer. Well, I actually didn't fix my computer. I had to get an entirely new one. And then I have to get my old one refurbished and then sell it because with Apple Care, it would have taken like a week for me to send it in and get it fixed. And like I was coming up on tour starting and I just couldn't do that. Like I can't not have my laptop for a week. So I had to just get a new
What
one.
was even wrong with it?
Got ran over by a car.
Still functional though,
Yeah,
somewhat.
it did function. It was just the screen. Yep, yeah.
You know what? I'm not even gonna ask any questions about how that happened, but I'm glad to.
It was completely my fault.
Okay.
Completely my
All right.
fault.
Do you worry that as these years pass and the streaming numbers keep going up, that one day you will not be able to find a pickle large enough to post your annual Instagram post?
I love that question so much. It's a great question. I have I have worried about that. Damn, so like that means at some point, hopefully, if everything goes to plan and if things keep happening the way I would like them to, I think I'm gonna have to go to a state fair in like Louisiana and find one in like these barrels. I don't really know what other option I have. That's why I'm trying to go in really like small increments, like I'm not even up to a medium-sized pickle yet. I only have, yeah, it's like the last one was a little smaller than a regular one.
I love the idea that at some point, like, you're actually gonna have to book into your tour schedule. Hey, we need to make it. We got to book something near a state fair because
Yeah, like there's a little stop I have to make. It's just a thing. Don't worry about it.
how did the pickle thing even start? What's the backstory there?
Um, so with that specifically, like with my Spotify Wrapped, I think, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. How did it start? Okay, yeah. So I it was this first year of my Spotify Wrapped, and I was like, oh, like wow, this is so awesome. Like, I've gained like a fan base. Like this is crazy. So I was like kind of looking, I was scrolling back in my phone to find any pictures that I could put along with the graphic of the Spotify Wrapped. Um, and like I don't even think by that point I had really even been DJing
Hmm.
yet. I don't even know if I had played a show by that time. Probably, maybe my first show. I don't know. I would have to look back. I'm so bad with dates and time and everything. I don't know what's going on. Um, but yeah, I looked back in my phone and I found this picture of me with a cornichon, like a little one of those what do you call them? Charcuterie
Hmm.
board pickles. Just a little guy. And I think I was at my serving job when I took that picture.
Yeah,
I was at work. And I was like, look at it, it's so tiny. And so I was like, oh, that's a cool representation of like, because I love pickles and I love them. And I don't know.
I like
That's
it.
kind of just how it started. I found the picture and I was like, this is great.
Okay, I think it's a good tradition to have. Also, like, what fun reoccurring bit actually has like a really crazy backstory? It's always like so absurd, and I love that.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up on some rapid fire, as these pickles start getting bigger, what is Alley Cat's ultimate marker for success?
Hmm. I I think the biggest marker for success for me would be if I were able to create like a big change in
Hmm.
something I wanted to see change. Like if it was something like the environment or helping with like animal shelters or something, like if I could make enough of an impact someday to actually change the things that I want to change, I feel like that's the biggest marker of success for me personally.
That's beautiful. I feel like we're on a good wavelength. There's like an alternate timeline Shack that's exclusively working at animal rehabilitation somewhere. He's got a best friend. It's an
Yes.
orangutan. Like, there's a whole different life.
Yes. I love that so much. Yeah, I want to create animal sanctuaries in the future if I
Ooh,
can.
I like it. I feel like Alley Cat's the perfect brand for it too. So I feel like we're already
Yeah.
halfway there.
Yeah,
Let's.
like a little cat, alley cat rescue.
Okay, good. Okay, I like this. I like this. Let's finish on some rapid fire because I gotta let you get out of here. First,
Okay, cool.
as a chronic overworker like yourself, give me Alley Cat's perfect day off.
Perfect day off. Sitting in a field. I just want to be in a field. I love
Mm.
fields. I want to sit in a bunch of freaking flowers and like maybe have wine in the sun.
What is the best Halloween costume that Alley Cat's ever put together?
I really like the Avril Lavigne one I just did, but I also was Raven one year from Teen Titans and I made the costume, so I thought that was cool.
Nickelback, overrated or underrated? I know you have a shirt, but I don't know why.
Underrated, bro. It's Nickelback. Like you're telling me Rockstar isn't a banger? Shut up. Like if you don't like Rockstar, you're lying. I know you sing that shit when no one's watching. I know it.
I know every word.
That's the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
remind me?
Well, they're based out
Me
of
too.
Vancouver, so when you come here to perform at Village, there's your opportunity. Who knows?
Me and my homies were saying we got to go to a concert. So,
Zed's Dead is also my favorite artist. Give me the Zed's Dead song that hits you the hardest.
oh, I'm not even gonna lie. There are so many. Like I couldn't even choose one. Like obviously the Eyes on Fire one is just like an OG, absolutely incredible. But there's this one Etta James flip that like remix thing that they've been playing out and they haven't released it yet. I forget the name of it. But it's like, what are we doing? Oh, it's just so good. I don't know what it's called though, but I hope they release it soon. There's like rips of it on SoundCloud that I've been kind of like listening to. I just realized that I'm stupid and ADHD and I don't pay attention, but it's Ella Fitzgerald, not Etta James. Duh. So I had to let the people know. I know what I'm talking about. I just slipped up a little bit. We're good.
This enthusiasm is contagious, by the way. So thank you for keeping the energy up this whole time. Last one,
Yeah.
and I'll let you go. We talked about the previous iterations of Alley Cat. What song was a young Alley Cat belting in her room the most?
Hurt by Christina Aguilera.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Alley Cat, I want to let you have the last word. So ahead of phase 2 of your tour, the upcoming EP, Feel It, your show with Mersive at Red Rocks in April, whatever it is that you want to talk about. Guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Subscribe, tap the bell. Full feature with ALLEYCVT at EDM.com. If there's anything you want to tell the people before we get out of here, the floor is yours.
Um, First of all, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you on the second phase of the Feel It tour. Ah, Feel It 2. Let's go.